Hi guys!
What's going on, guys? We are going to do a little video here today for you on scoring antlers. We're just going to do a quick breakdown really quick on how this goes, the name of each tine on the score sheet, and where to pull your measurements from and how you should take them. I'm going to do a lot of explaining on some of these measurements, so hopefully it's understandable for you guys. But if you have any questions, comment below and I'll answer them. On top of it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like for us, please. We appreciate it.
Oh, we were jinxed.
That's how much we appreciate it. We're both on the same page.
Exactly.
And on top of it, don't forget below in the description column, we have our links to all our websites, our social media, our sponsors' websites, plus promo codes. So check that out and make sure to hit that. But all right, without further ado, let's get started.
All right.
Okay, so you've got your typical 4-point with extras. What we're going to do first is we are going to score this on the typical side, and then we're going to add our extras. But we're going to actually go through and score it based off of what each time's number is and the mass measurements. So we're going to stay in line and go from there. Okay, to start, guys, what you want to do is you're going to want to go through and you're going to want to find all your start points. And what I mean by that is where are you going to start this tape to measure this G2? This from finger to finger right here is the G2. Okay? So where are we going to start that? What you need to do is you need to find the line as if this tine wasn't even here off of this main beam. So one way, and there's a lot of ways to do this. And guys, just to be sure, you know that I am not a certified scorer. I do score a lot of Antler, but this is in no way, shape, or form Boone & Crockett, Pope & Young, SCI approved, just because I'm not certified. So if we take the flexible tape here and we kind of go like that, basically what we're doing is we're running the beam, the main beam, as if that tine wasn't there, is what we're doing. So if you take this tape and you put it right here like it's on the beam and you run that down along the beam, come over here, that's going to give you your line. And same thing, so what we're going to do to make this easy is we're going to take some tape. And we're going to go like that, and like I said, we're going to go as if this beam, this tine wasn't here. So we're going to stick right on top of this beam here. Get a little bit longer piece, I'll use that on another one. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start right on top of the main beam here. Come over to the top of the main beam here.
Doesn't have to stick perfect.
No, it doesn't. You just need your baseline. So right there is going to be our baseline right there. See how that works? As if that beam wasn't even there? Or if this tine wasn't even there, that beam's going to flow just like that. See that? And we're going to go through really quick and we're going to do kind of all of these for the most part. Same way. Everything that's over 1 inch long has got to have a start point. So there's that one. Alright guys, so we got everything taped up now as far as our tine measurements. We did not tape the mass measurements just because I want to get all the tine measurements done first, and then I'll take this stuff off. That way, you know, because with this measurement it's not going to be an issue, but sometimes the tape or tags do get in the way of the mass measurement. You know, it's not a lot, it's not that big of a deal, but I try to be as precise as I can. That way, if anything, when I tell a guy a score of his antler or his deer, I know for a fact that I'm going to be lower than any official scorer. And
didn't overdo it.
Yeah, and I do that on purpose, guys, just because I don't want to be the bad guy. But, all right, so we've got it all taped off for our time measurements. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start off and we're going to talk about each one of these, and Britt's gonna write them down. Okay, so the first measurement you're going to do is your main beam. And basically it's an MB, so it's just main beam. There's no, I don't think there's any special abbreviation for anything. And then from there, your next measurement is your eye guard, which is your G1. This is your G1. A deer either has a G1 or it doesn't have a G1, but this is your G1. All right, your next measurement is your G2, and that is this tine right here, the next tine from your G1 that comes off the main beam all the way up to, you know, however long it is. It could be this long, I mean, but this is your next measurement. This is your G2 right here. The next measurement is your G3, and we've got this taped off. G3 comes into the G2. It never goes into the main beam or anything else. The G3 on a mule deer always goes into the G2. If it's not there, you basically got a G2 to a G4. You got a like a whitetail style frame or a 3-point mule deer. After your G3, you go to your G4. This is your G4 right here. That is all of the typical G measurements on a mule deer. The next measurements you have after that are your mass measurements, and those are called H's. Those are your H's. So the first one is your H1, which is right here between the eye guard or the G1 and the burr. And when you take your mass measurements, guys, you always find the narrowest measurement, the smallest measurement between the 2 points. You don't take the biggest measurement, you take the smallest measurement between the 2 points. Your next measurement is your H2, and that is between your G1 and your G2. So anywhere in here, the smallest measurement from here to here, basically. Got that? Your next measurement is your H3, and that is on your G2. That is right here. And the same thing, that is between your main beam, right here, and your G3. So if you're pulling your line right here on your G3, you need to make sure that from here down to the main beam is where you take your mass measurement. And that is your H3. And that is the smallest measurement right there. And your last measurement, mass measurement, is your H4. And that is between the G4 and the G2. It's right there. Now, if you do not have a G3, let's say this is a 3-point shed. This, let me get it real. Let's pause for a second.
Pause.
All right, G3, or so let's take a 3-point for instance. You're going to take your H3 measurement, you're going to go on your G2. So basically what you do is, because we don't have a G3 coming off of this to have a stop point to go from main beam to G3, you're going to take the total measurement, the total length of your G2 from main beam to tip, and let's say it's 10 inches. That's way longer than 10 inches, but for simplicity, 10 inches. To take your H3 mass measurement, you find the exact dead center of your 10 inches. So let's say 5 inches is right there. That is exactly where you take that mass measurement. Not at 4 inches here or 3 inches there. It's split in half. You take it right there. Got that? Okay, so we've got this antler all taped up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start taking our measurements. Oh, your extras have to be an inch or more, and they can't be wider than they are longer, if that makes sense. Anything that's not an inch is not scoreable, so that is not scoreable. That is not scoreable. That is scoreable. All right? You're going to want to take the back side of the antler and go right down to the burr and put it right on that. Basically where the wax ring was or whatever, you know, guys, but we're going to start right there on that burr, and if you turn it, see, I'm not cheating it in any way. It's right on that burr, and we're just gonna run this tape up the back side of this main beam. All the way to the top. Now, when you score in eighths, or you can round down like I do on a lot of that. Now that right there is actually about 23 3/8. I would give that almost 23 and a half. I would round that down to 23 2/8 when I'm scoring for a client or to sell an antler. But that's 23 3/8. So we're gonna write that down right here on main beam. 23 3/8. Now we're going to move to our G1. All right, now we've got all the lines cut, so this is gonna be super easy. So we're gonna go right there at the tape, go all the way up to the tip, and I'm gonna call that 3 inches.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's right there. You can see it. So we're gonna come over here to our G1. We're gonna give that a 3. Okay, now we're gonna move to the G2. And since we've got all our tape, same thing. We're gonna start it right at the bottom, right on the line, and we're gonna run it right up the back side of the antler. All the way to the top. It's like about 13 inches. We're gonna stop it right at 13. Come over to our G2. Next is the G3. We're gonna go right in the middle right there where we started that bad boy. Right about there. Shoot up that. To the top, and it looks like we've got, I'm gonna say 10 5/8. And then our G4 is next, and we're gonna go right to the bottom of the tape right there. We're gonna run that tape all the way up this beam, or tine, excuse me. Looks like we got 12 5/8 right there. Yep. Okay, now we got our H's, guys. Our mass measurements. So the first one is our H1. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run this tape. We're gonna run it to where we're gonna check all the spots. So we got 5 4/8 there, 5 6/8 there, 7/8, 5 5/8, 5 5/8. Ooh, right there. Make sure it's all the way around evenly. Yep. So we got 5 3/8. First mass measurement, H1. And then we're going to go to our H2, which is between the G1 and the G2. And the first spot is right on 5. Let's move down. We got 4 7/8 right tape there. Five, call that 4 7/8. So the smallest on that H2 is 4 7/8. Next up is our H3. Our H3 is between the main beam and the G3. Small spot on that, we'll call that 4, 4, 4. I'm gonna say that's a 4. And then last mass measurement is our H4, which is between the G4 and the G2. First measurement is 5 right there. 4 7/8 there. 5. So we're going to call that 4 7/8. Now, if I was doing this for a client or to sell this antler, I would not be doing the exact eighths on this. I would actually probably drop all of those down to 4 1/2, 4. Like this one, I go 3 7.75. Okay, now our E's, our extras. We just got done measuring the typical frame on this deer, on this shed. Now we're gonna do the extras. It doesn't matter what order you go in at all when you're doing these measurements. You just wanna make sure you don't miss any or double measure them on these extras. So try to keep track and make sure if you got a whole bunch more extras. Okay, so we're going to start on the top of this just because it was the easiest spot to line up. spin this around. Looks like that extra is, we're gonna call that extra 3 2/8, just to be safe. And then this extra right here from the bottom.
A little under 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is 1 6/8. All right, now we've got all our measurements here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add them up really quick, and I'll probably just fast forward this part, and we'll come back to it. Yes, calculator. All right, guys, there you go. So that antler right there, the typical 4-point frame antler on this is 81 6/8, and then with the 2 extras added in, it's 86 6/8. So there you go. So that's how you score. Hopefully that answers any questions. I know there's still a lot of variables out there and possibilities as far as where to pull a tape, how to pull a tape on some extra tines. And hopefully one day we'll be able to put something together, multiple series as far as stuff like that answer those questions. That's going to be a big part of what our vlog is about too, here in 2017. So
thank you guys for tuning in.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. So like I said, if you guys got any questions, make sure you ask in the comments, and be sure to check out that description box. So take care, have fun, and we'll see you next time.
See you there.